My friends, dreams are beautiful. They give us hope, they give us direction, and they give us a reason to wake up every morning with excitement. But let me tell you something important. Dreams alone are not enough. If you only dream and never build, then those dreams remain just pictures in your mind. A blueprint is powerful, but unless you pick up the tools and start building, that blueprint will never become a home. Every great achiever you admire today once had a dream. But what makes them stand out is that they took steps every single day to build it. Dreams are seeds, but they don't grow unless you water them with effort, discipline, and persistence. Don't just close your eyes and imagine. Open your eyes and start constructing. Life rewards those who are willing to sweat for their vision. The difference between a wishful thinker and a true builder is simple. One lives in imagination. The other leaves behind a legacy. So don't just dream it. Build it. Dreams are indeed powerful. They have the ability to light up our hearts and inspire us to believe in possibilities beyond our current reality. Every great invention, every successful business, every impactful movement in history began with a dream. The dream. A dream has the power to give direction to our lives, to remind us that there is something bigger than the routine, and to show us that we are capable of reaching heights we never imagined. But while dreams are powerful, let us never forget that dreams alone are incomplete. If we hold on to them only in the mind, without turning them into action, they remain fragile bubbles of imagination, beautiful but temporary, fading as quickly as they appeared. Think about this. A farmer may dream of a golden harvest, but if he never sows seeds, waters the soil, or protects the crop, that harvest will never exist. His dream may motivate him, but his inaction will disappoint him. In the same way, we often get excited when we think about our ambitions, starting a career, writing a book, becoming fit, or building something meaningful. The vision excites us, but what often happens is that the excitement fades because we never take the first step toward building it. We live in the sweetness of the dream without tasting the sweat of the work required to achieve it. And that is why so many dreams die young. Not because they are impossible, but because they are never acted upon. Action is the oxygen of dreams. Without it, a dream suffocates. Imagine two people standing at the bottom of a mountain. Both look up at the peak and dream of reaching it. The first person spends hours imagining the breathtaking view from the top, picturing the moment of victory, but never takes a step forward. The second person, though equally scared of the climb, starts taking small steps, one after another. Who do you think will actually see the view from the top? The answer is clear. It is not the dreamer who wins, but the doer. The first person had a dream but no action. The second person had the same dream but added effort to it. And that effort made all the difference. Dreams can inspire you, but action transforms you. You may have the greatest vision for your life, but unless you are willing to put in the daily effort, that vision will remain locked away in your imagination. Every day you delay action, you move one step further from your dream. But every day you take action, even a small one, you move one step closer to it. Many people wait for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect condition to begin. But the truth is, there is no perfect time. The perfect time is when you decide to start. Dreams wait for no one, and opportunities favor those who are prepared to act. It is not enough to dream of a better life. You must work for it. It is not enough to dream of success. You must pay the price for it. The dream is your inspiration, but the action is your construction. When you align both, the vision in your heart and the effort in your hands, you create magic. So remember, dreams may start your journey, but only action will finish it. A blueprint is an extraordinary thing. It represents vision, creativity, and foresight. Every architect begins with a blueprint, carefully drawing lines, marking spaces, and designing what will one day stand tall in the real world. But here is the truth. No matter how perfect that blueprint is, if no one takes the bricks, the cement, and the tools to build it, the design remains lifeless. A blueprint without building is like potential without effort. It looks good on paper, but serves no real purpose in life. This is exactly what happens with so many of us. We dream, we plan, we visualize, and sometimes we even write down our goals beautifully in journals or stick notes on our walls. But then we stop there. We convince ourselves that planning is enough, that creating a vision board will automatically bring results. And when nothing changes, we feel discouraged. The reality is simple. Planity is simple. Planning without action is a waste of time. A plan is the map, but unless you travel the road, the destination will remain just a drawing. Think of someone who wants to build a business. They may spend months designing a business plan, researching the market, and sketching out brilliant ideas. But if they never take the leap of actually starting, even on a small scale, all that preparation is meaningless. On the other hand, there are people with far less planning but a strong will to act. And they succeed because they turned their imperfect plan into a real attempt. Progress does not come from the beauty of the blueprint, but from the courage to build. Even in personal growth, the same principle applies. A person may dream of becoming fit and create a perfect workout schedule, list healthy meals, and set fitness goals. Yet if they never exercise or never eat better, that plan is nothing more than a fancy idea. But the one who starts walking, jogging, or lifting weights, even if imperfectly, will see results. Life doesn't reward paper plans. It rewards actions and habits that follow those plans. We must understand that a blueprint is only the first step, not the final product. A builder knows this well. Once the design is complete, the hard work begins. Digging the foundation, lifting heavy loads, placing brick upon brick, and enduring the mess, noise, and sweat of construction. Without that process, the building remains a dream. Similarly, in our lives, once the vision is drawn, we must be willing to endure the hard work, the early mornings, the sacrifices, the failures, and the retries. That is how dreams are constructed into reality. It is good to dream, it is good to plan, but it is far greater to execute. The world does not admire the one who only designs ideas. It admires the one who turns those ideas into something tangible, something that serves others and leaves a mark. When you look around at skyscrapers, great books, powerful businesses, and life-changing innovations, remember, they were once nothing but blueprints. But because someone dared to build, you and I can see them, touch them, and benefit from them today. So don't get stuck at the drawing board of life. The plan is necessary, but it is only the beginning. The courage to build is what makes the difference between a dreamer and an achiever. Dreams are like seeds, but effort is the water that helps them grow. A seed, no matter how perfect, will remain buried in the soil if no one nurtures it. It may carry the potential of becoming a tall tree, giving shade, fruits, and shelter, but that potential is meaningless unless someone puts in the effort to care for it. In the same way, your dreams carry immense potential, but unless you are willing to give your sweat, your time, and your energy, they will never come alive. Many people admire successful individuals and think they are blessed with luck or talent. But if you look closely at their journeys, you will realize something deeper. They are ordinary people who gave extraordinary effort. They worked when others were sleeping. They trained when others were distracted. And they persisted when others gave up. Their dreams didn't magically turn into reality. Effort transformed them into success. Dreams may inspire you, but only effort has the power to materialize them. Think about a sculptor working on a block of marble. The vision of the sculpture exists in his mind, but unless he picks up the chisel and hammer and works tirelessly day after day, that vision will remain trapped inside the stone. It is his effort that releases the beauty hidden within. Similarly, your dreams are locked inside you, waiting to be carved out through your effort. The more you work, the clearer the shape of your dream becomes, until one day it stands before you in reality. Effort also has a way of shaping us as individuals. When you work hard for your dreams, you don't just create results, you also create resilience. The sleepless nights, the failures, the setbacks, and the long hours all mold you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. The effort you put in does not just build your dream, it builds your character. And sometimes the person you become through the journey is even more valuable than the goal you achieve at the end. Let's not forget that effort requires consistency. Many people start strong, filled with energy and passion, but lose their drive when results don't appear immediately. But effort is not a one-time push. It is a daily commitment. Just as a farmer waters his crops every day, even when he doesn't see growth instantly, you too must put effort day after day, trusting that results will eventually come. Growth may be invisible for a while, but your effort is never wasted. Every small action accumulates, every step adds up, and one day you suddenly see the dream you once imagined standing real before your eyes. Effort also separates the dreamer from the doer. Everyone has dreams, but only a few are willing to pay the price through effort. That is why the world is full of unfulfilled dreams, not because they were impossible, but because they were abandoned halfway. Effort is the bridge that connects what is in your mind to what exists in the world. Without crossing that bridge, you remain stuck on the side of imagination. So if you truly want your dreams to come alive, pour yourself into them. Work with passion, persevere with patience, and give your best even when it feels difficult. Remember, dreams are the spark, but effort is the fire that turns that spark into light. Discipline is often seen as a restriction, but in truth, it is freedom. It is the tool that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Without discipline, even the brightest dream and the strongest intention will fade away. Discipline is the bridge that connects your daily actions to your long-term goals. It is not about doing what you feel like doing. It is about doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. That is why discipline is the builder's greatest tool. Imagine a mason constructing a wall. If he lays one brick today and waits 3 months to lay the next one, the wall will never be completed. But if he commits to placing bricks consistently every single day, even if it is just one at a time, eventually the wall will stand tall and strong. In the same way, your dreams cannot be built on random bursts of inspiration. They are built on steady, disciplined action. Inspiration may get you started, but discipline will keep you going. We often admire people who achieve great things: athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders and creators. What makes them shine is not just their talent, but their discipline. An athlete may have natural ability, but without training every day, without following a strict routine, and without pushing through fatigue, that talent will never take them to the top. Discipline takes raw potential and shapes it into greatness. It turns average people into extraordinary achievers because it gives them consistency. The challenge with discipline is that it often feels uncomfortable. Waking up early to study, saying no to distractions, sticking to a routine, practicing when you are tired. None of these things are easy. But the truth is, growth is never easy. Comfort never creates champions. Discipline does. Every time you practice discipline, you strengthen your ability to choose long-term rewards over short-term pleasures. And this ability is what sets builders apart from dreamers. Dreamers are guided by feelings, but builders are guided by commitment. Discipline also teaches patience. Results rarely come overnight. A writer must discipline themselves to write every day, even when inspiration is absent. A student must discipline themselves to study consistently, even when the exam is months away. A musician must practice their instrument daily, even when progress feels slow. Through discipline, you learn that small actions repeated with consistency create massive results over time. That is the silent power of discipline. It compounds. We must also understand that discipline is not punishment, it is preparation. Prepares you to handle challenges, to stay focused when life throws distractions, and to keep moving when motivation disappears. Discipline builds inner strength. When you can control your habits, your time, and your energy, you can direct them toward building your dream with precision. Without discipline, you scatter your energy. With discipline, you channel it like a laser. The greatest builders of life know that discipline is non-negotiable. It is what allows them to wake up early when others sleep, to work when others quit, and to persist when others get distracted. It may not be glamorous, but it is effective. And when discipline is practiced long enough, it becomes second nature, a part of who you are. That is when you no longer need to push yourself. Discipline pushes you. So discipline is not about restriction but construction. Construction. It is the silent tool that shapes dreams into reality, one small consistent action at a time. Life is full of resistance. Every time you decide to build something meaningful, obstacles will appear. Sometimes it will be external, lack of resources, people doubting you or unexpected challenges. Sometimes it will be internal, fear, self-doubt or fatigue. Resistance is part of every journey. But there is something stronger than resistance, and that is persistence. Persistence is the inner fire that keeps you moving forward. Even when everything around you tries to push you back, it is the determination to continue when quitting feels easier. Think of a river carving its way through stone. The stone is strong, solid and immovable, yet the river drop by drop continues to flow with persistence. Over time, the stone gives way and the river creates valleys, waterfalls and new paths. The river does not succeed because of its force. It succeeds because of its persistence. In the same way, you may not always have the strongest resources or the easiest conditions, but if you persist, you will break through barriers that once seemed impossible. Many people start their journeys with great enthusiasm, but when they meet resistance, they give up. Now, they see a closed door and assume it means the dream is not meant for them. But persistence sees the closed door and keeps knocking, keeps searching, keeps trying until a way is found. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is often not talent, intelligence, or luck. It is persistence. Success belongs to those who refuse to give up, no matter how many times they fall. History is filled with examples of persistence. Inventors who failed hundreds of times before discovering something that changed the world. Leaders who faced rejection, criticism, and setbacks, yet continued to pursue their vision. Artists who were ignored in their time but kept creating because they believed in their craft. The resistance was strong, but the persistence was stronger. And today we remember them not for the obstacles they faced, but for the fact that they never gave up. Persistence also builds resilience within you. Every time you push through resistance, you become tougher. Every obstacle you overcome makes you more capable of handling the next one. This inner strength cannot be learned from books. It can only be developed by experience. Resistance is the test, and persistence is the answer. When you persist, you prove not only to the world but also to yourself that you are stronger than your circumstances. Of course, persistence does not mean blindly repeating the same mistake. It means adjusting, learning, and trying again with new wisdom. A persistent person doesn't just keep running into a wall. They look for ways to climb it, go around it, or even break it. Persistence is creative. It combines determination with flexibility, ensuring that no matter what stands in the way, progress continues. The truth is, resistance will always be present whenever you attempt something valuable. It is almost like a test to see how badly you want your dream. If you give up easily, perhaps you never wanted it enough. But if you persist, if you keep moving despite the weight of resistance, the world eventually makes way for you. Just like the river through stone, persistence always wins. When you begin building your dream, there will be times when nothing seems to move forward. The results won't always be immediate. The road won't always be smooth. The doubts of others may echo in your mind, and sometimes your own heart may whisper, "Is this really possible?" In those moments, you need something more than plans, effort, and persistence. You need faith. Faith is the silent fuel that keeps your construction alive when the visible progress is still invisible. Faith is not blind optimism. It is a deep conviction that what you are working toward has meaning and will one day come to life. A builder starts working on an empty plot of land with nothing but a blueprint and trust in the process. Day after day he labors, even when all that stands there is a foundation. Why does he continue? Because he has faith in what the finished structure will look like. Without that faith, the fatigue, the delays, and the setbacks would discourage him to the point of quitting. Faith allows him to see the building before it exists, and that vision sustains him through the grind. The same applies to your dreams. You may be at the very beginning, where only you can see what you're working toward. Others might laugh, criticize, or doubt your abilities. Some may call your dream impossible, But faith whispers, hey, keep going. Faith gives you the courage to move forward even when evidence is lacking. It gives you strength when logic says the task is too hard. Faith is the belief that if you keep building, something valuable will rise from your effort. Think of inventors, explorers, and visionaries throughout history. Many of them pursued goals that had never been achieved before. There was no guarantee of success, no certainty that their efforts would work. What carried them through years of trial and error was faith. Faith in their vision, faith in the possibility of progress, faith that one more attempt might unlock the breakthrough. Without faith, they would have stopped long before the world ever saw their contributions. Faith also acts as an anchor in moments of despair. When you experience failure, it is easy to lose confidence. Faith reminds you that failure is not the end, but part of the journey. It tells you that setbacks are setups for comebacks. It tells you that the delay is not denial, and that patience combined with effort will eventually bring results. Faith doesn't eliminate challenges, but it gives you the strength to face them with courage instead of fear. Most importantly, faith starts within you. If you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect others to believe in your dream? Faith is the inner commitment that says, no matter how hard it gets, I will not stop. It's the voice that silences doubt and replaces it with determination. And when you carry that kind of faith, you often inspire others to join your vision. Faith is contagious. The confidence you show in your dream can attract the support, encouragement, and opportunities you need to build it. Ultimately, every building that stands tall began with someone who had faith in the unseen. And every dream that becomes reality is fueled by that same faith. When the path is unclear, when progress feels slow, and when resistance grows heavy, remember, faith is the energy that will keep your construction alive. In a world that moves faster every day, patience feels like an outdated virtue. We live in a time of instant results, instant food, instant messages, instant entertainment. But when it comes to building something meaningful, there is no such thing as instant success. Dreams take time. Growth takes time. Construction takes time. Just as a seed does not turn into a tree overnight, your dream will not become reality the moment you start working on it. And this is why patience is essential. Patience that means sitting idly and waiting for things to happen. It means working consistently while trusting the process. Imagine a farmer who plants seeds in the soil. He waters them, nurtures them, and protects them from harm. But he does not dig them up every day to see if they have grown. He knows growth is happening beneath the surface even when it is invisible. His patience allows nature to take its course. If he becomes impatient and gives up, he will never see the harvest. In the same way, when you're building your dream, progress may not always be visible, but that doesn't mean it isn't happening. Patience allows unseen growth to mature until the right time. The absence of patience often destroys dreams. Many people start strong but expect immediate results. When results don't appear, they feel discouraged and quit too soon. They forget that every great success has a waiting period, a time of unseen effort, struggle, and perseverance before the results are visible. Impatience makes us abandon the process just before the breakthrough comes. Patience, on the other hand, keeps us steady, reminding us that timing is as important as effort. Consider the building of a skyscraper. The foundation often takes the longest time. Workers dig deep, pour concrete, and strengthen the base. Yet from the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. People passing by may even mock and say, "Why is this project taking so long?" But once the foundation is ready, the building rises quickly and impressively. Similarly in life, the time when you feel stuck, unnoticed, or unrecognized may actually be the time when your foundation is being built. Patience allows you to endure that stage without losing faith. Patience also teaches humility. It reminds us that we are not in control of everything. There are seasons in life, seasons of planting, seasons of watering, and seasons of harvesting. You cannot skip one season and expect the next to arrive early. By practicing patience, you align yourself with life's rhythm and learn to trust that everything will unfold at the right moment. At the same time, patience protects you from rushing into mistakes. Many failures come not because people lack talent or effort, but because they were in a hurry. They forced outcomes before the time was right. But true builders understand that rushing weakens the structure. A strong building is not only about how fast it is made, but how well it is made. Patience ensures quality in your journey. Patience is also a form of strength. It is easy to give up, but it takes courage to keep going when results are slow. It is easy to complain, but it takes wisdom to stay calm and keep working. Patience allows you to keep your eyes on the long-term vision instead of being distracted by short-term frustration. In the end, patience is not about waiting for things to happen. It is about enduring the process with faith and discipline until they do. Just like nature never rushes yet accomplishes everything, your dream too will unfold at the right time if only you stay patient. Every great dream requires building, and every great building requires knowledge. You cannot expect to create something strong and lasting without learning the skills, principles, and wisdom necessary for it. Learning is not a side activity. It is part of the construction itself. Oh. Just as a builder studies designs, materials, and techniques before laying the first brick, you too must keep learning in order to build your dream. If effort is the strength of your hands, then learning is the sharpness of your mind, and both are needed to succeed. Too often, people believe that once they have a vision, they should immediately achieve it, but a vision without knowledge is fragile. Think of a person who dreams of opening a restaurant but refuses to learn about cooking, customer service, or business management. No matter how passionate they are, without learning, their dream will collapse. On the other hand, someone who humbly admits, I don't know everything, but I'm willing to learn, equips themselves with the tools to build something sustainable. Learning is a continuous process, not a one-time event. Life is always changing, circumstances evolve, and challenges take new shapes. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. This is why true builders never stop learning. They read, they observe, they ask questions, they seek mentors, and most importantly, they learn from their own mistakes. Every failure carries a lesson, every obstacle hides a teaching, and every setback is a classroom in disguise. If you approach life with the attitude of a student, then every experience becomes part of your construction material. The beauty of learning is that it strengthens both the dream and the dreamer. Each new skill you develop adds another layer of strength to your foundation. Each lesson you absorb saves you from repeating costly mistakes. And each time you open your mind to knowledge, you expand the possibilities of what you can build. Think of the world's greatest innovators and leaders. They were never satisfied with what they already knew. Their curiosity and humility to keep learning gave them the wisdom to create things that seemed impossible to others. Learning also requires humility. It is easy to assume that you already know enough, but that mindset limits your growth. A wise builder listens to others, studies the experiences of those who walked the path before, and acknowledges that there is always something new to discover. Even experts remain students at heart. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. And when growth stops, building stops. But learning is not just about collecting information. It is about applying it. A student may read dozens of books about swimming, but unless they jump into the water, the knowledge remains theoretical. In the same way, you must take what you learn and put it into practice. Application turns knowledge into power. It allows you to refine your methods, improve your craft, and move closer to your dream with confidence. Remember also that learning is not limited to formal education. Life itself is the greatest teacher. A conversation, a mistake, an observation, or even a failure can teach you more than a classroom ever could. If you are willing to listen, every day is filled with lessons waiting to be absorbed. The key is to remain open and curious. So as you build your dream, commit yourself to learning. Make it a habit to grow wiser, sharper, and more skilled with each step. Because learning is not a distraction from building. Learning is building. Each lesson you acquire becomes another brick in the foundation of your future. No building ever stands because of a single pair of hands. Behind every tall structure is an entire team of workers, architects, engineers, masons, laborers, electricians, and countless others who each play their part. In the same way, no dream in life is built alone. You may carry the vision, but you will need support, encouragement, and teamwork to bring it to life. Support and teamwork matter because they multiply your strength, expand your perspective, and help you go further than you ever could on your own. One of the biggest misconceptions people carry is the belief that independence means doing everything alone. While independence is valuable, isolation is dangerous. When you cut yourself off from support, you limit yourself to your own abilities and resources. But when you embrace teamwork, you gain the skills, knowledge, and energy of others. What may seem impossible for one person becomes achievable when many hands and hearts come together. Think about the construction of a bridge. One person cannot design it, gather the materials, build the structure, and test its safety all by themselves. It requires collaboration. Each person brings unique expertise, and only when those talents merge does the bridge become a reality. Similarly, when you surround yourself with the right people, each with their own strengths, your dream grows stronger and more stable. Alone, you may walk fast, but together you walk far. Support is not only about physical help, it is also about emotional encouragement. There will be times when doubt weighs heavy, when failure feels unbearable, and when quitting seems easier than continuing. In such moments, a single encouraging word from someone who believes in you can reignite your fire. Sometimes all we need is a reminder from others that our dream is still worth fighting for. That support acts like scaffolding around a building, holding it steady until it is strong enough to stand on its own. Teamwork also teaches humility. When you work with others, you realize that you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. You learn to listen, to share, to compromise, and to appreciate the value of collaboration. True leaders are not those who build alone, but those who can inspire a team to build together. The greatest achievements in history were rarely the work of one person. They were the result of teams united by a shared vision. But it's important to remember that not all company is supportive. Just as weak or faulty materials can compromise a building, the wrong people can weaken your dream. Surround yourself with those who uplift, encourage, and challenge you to grow, not with those who drain your energy or feed your doubts. Choosing the right team is as important as choosing the right foundation. The wrong crowd can delay your progress, but the right crowd can accelerate it. Support and teamwork also create accountability. When others are building alongside you, you feel responsible not just for your dream, but also for the collective goal. This accountability pushes you to stay consistent, to give your best, and to keep going even when it's tough. It's harder to give up when you know others are counting on you. So never underestimate the power of support and teamwork. Your vision may start with you, but it will grow with the help of others. Together you can carry loads you could never lift alone and reach heights that once seemed impossible. Dreams are important, but only actions leave footprints in the world. A dream is like a vision in your heart, but unless you put that vision into motion, it remains invisible to others. People don't remember what you thought about doing. They remember what you actually did. Legacy is not created by imagination alone. It is created by action. And this is why action is the most powerful step in turning a dream into something that lives beyond you. Think about all the great figures in history. They were all dreamers, yes, but more importantly, they were doers. They took their visions and acted on them, often in the face of resistance, doubt, and failure. What we admire today is not the dream they carried in their minds, but the actions they took to bring it alive. The books they wrote, the movements they started, the inventions they built, the changes they made, these were the products of action. Their legacies continue to inspire us not because they dreamed, but because they acted. Action has the power to transform ordinary people into extraordinary influencers. You may have the most brilliant idea, but unless you take the first step toward it, no one will ever see its value. Action is the bridge between your private vision and the world's experience of it. Without action, your dream remains hidden. With action, your dream becomes a gift that others can see, touch, and benefit from. That gift is what creates legacy. We often delay action because we wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect resources. But the truth is, perfection never arrives. The people who build legacies are not those who wait, but those who start right where they are with whatever they have. Their courage to take imperfect action sets them apart. Every masterpiece in the world began as a simple, imperfect first attempt. But because they kept acting step by step, their work grew into something remarkable. Action also speaks louder than intention. You can tell the world about your dreams, but the world is moved only when it sees you working toward them. Your consistency, your effort, your sacrifices, these actions inspire others far more than your words. Legacy is built not on promises but on proof. It is the evidence of a life lived with purpose, visible through what you leave behind. Another truth is that action has a ripple effect. When you act on your dream, you don't just impact your own life, you touch the lives of countless others. A teacher's action of educating shapes generations. An entrepreneur's action of innovating creates opportunities for communities. A writer's action of expressing gives hope to readers. Your action, no matter how small it seems at first, can set in motion waves that travel far beyond what you can see. And those waves continue even after you are gone. That is legacy. Action also protects your dream from regret. One of the greatest pains in life is looking back and realizing you never tried. Dreams unacted upon turn into regrets. But when you take action, even if you stumble, you live with peace knowing you gave your best. And often, it is that very persistence in action despite failure that inspires others long after your time. So remember, dreams give birth to vision, but action gives birth to legacy. It is not enough to dream of changing the world. You must act to change it. Legacy is not what you wanted to do. It is what you actually did. And every action you take today lays a stone in the path of the legacy you will leave tomorrow.